Yo, we have a trailblazer in the building. I've been wanting to speak to this woman for months, and the moment is finally here. Trinity is joining us, the current TNA Knockouts World Champion. She's been the champ for a minute, and guess what? She's joining us on the show. She's joining us here in Las Vegas in exactly 2 months. And I know that seems like a long time, but my family, it's the holiday season. It's the perfect gift. Get your tickets for Hard to Kill, Ticketmaster.com. First and foremost, Trinity, how are you, love?
I am great. How are you?
Nah, I'm doing fantastic. Like I said, I'm super excited to have this conversation and thankful for the time. And since it's our first time talking and your first time on the show, like we don't want to get straight into the wrestling. We need to bring you into our world. We need to break the ice. So here's the deal.
Love it.
We're here in Vegas and there's a lot of residencies. And as a matter of fact, this morning I got an email. The email opened up and it said invite. Whenever I see an invite, I'm gonna open it up. And it was to Usher's show. Usher's doing see exactly, but here's the thing. Here's the problem I have, okay? He's doing a friends and family show, and I'm thankful that I got invited. I'm super excited, but like we got some good seats. And I know you've been on social media to see what happens in the middle of Usher's show. He might sing to someone in the crowd, and we're very close to that area. And I'm scared if I bring the mother of my kids, like I'm not trying to fight Usher. So, like, what do I do?
I mean, I feel you. I feel you. That's a tough one because I'm married too. So, you know.
And listen, why wouldn't he pick the mother of my child? You know what I'm saying? So in my head, I'm like, I need to play these scenarios out. Like, I need to be prepared. I'm not trying to do that. I like Usher. That's my guy, but I'm in dangerous territory because we're right there.
Right. I don't know. Like, a part of me is like, let sis live. But the other part of me is like, you her man, you can't be like, he can't be playing in your face like that either. So, I don't know. What if he sung to you? Maybe y'all could just switch roles.
I'd take the microphone and I'd do my own show, you know what I'm saying, to get these views.
That's a good idea.
But speaking of shows too, I was doing research, and by that I was looking through your IG. And I did notice, you got it pinned up the top. Beyonce gave you a shout out and complimented your outfit. I need to know, winning the TNA Knockouts World Championship or Beyonce showing you love during a show? Like, where do these things rank?
Okay, definitely TNA. Okay, definitely winning my championship, However, Beyonce acknowledging me for 1.5 seconds is definitely something to be proud of and to brag about.
Listen, they're never gonna take that away from you.
Never. I'm leaving that pin forever.
And
show my grandkids.
No, facts. Like a legend, two legends connected, and there it is. No, that's amazing. And my last little silly question before we get into the wrestling is my son, who's 5 years old. The last time TNA was here in Vegas, I took him. It was his first wrestling show. It was amazing. His eyes were wide the entire time. Mm-hmm. These are superheroes in real life. And it was great. About a month ago, though, I got a call from his school, and basically some kid tried to take his ball, and he responded by clotheslining him. So I'm on the path of being a right dad, right? Like, he's just defending himself, correct?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you just got to defend yourself.
Yeah, that is amazing. See, when my son gets to see this when he's older, Trinity gave you the okay. All right, trailblazer set aside.
My mom told me you don't start nothing, but if somebody mess with you, then you finish it. And that's the motto I've had my whole life. I don't mess with nobody, but when I gotta stand up for myself, I will. And school is different these days too. So like. I really believe, especially with all the bullying and stuff going on, that kids should know how to defend themselves or protect themselves. But, you always want to try to handle it the best way. But sometimes you got to fight. Like
sometimes you have to stand on business.
Sometimes you got to stand on business. So I don't know. I feel like baby boy, I'm sure he did what he had to do.
In the school, I looked upset, but as soon as we got to the car, I definitely was like, I was like, that's how you do it, son.
Right.
And talking about standing on business, like the one thing I want to ask you, and like I applaud you and I appreciate because it was inspiration in my life. Um, everything that you've been through, and as we close out the year, everything you've done this year. I am interested. You brought up your husband. When you guys look back at this year and you both realize with the companies that you work for, both of you guys were in a prime top position at the biggest shows for both of those companies.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys in private go, we really did that?
Not yet. I was just talking to someone else about this, like just not like kind of stepping back and taking the time to pat ourselves on the back sometimes because the business just keeps going. It's so much and you're constantly thinking about the next step and the next thing and how to better yourself that sometimes it's really hard to like sit back and just take a moment and recap on what you have accomplished. So I do want to start doing that more, but it's been a crazy, beautiful, amazing year in the Fatu house. Definitely hit with a lot of unexpected things, but I feel that with the support of each other, we've been able to get through it all and magnify the opportunities we've had and make it work and continue to do what we love to do, what brought us together in the first place. And at the end of the day, that's wrestling. And I think I realize is that as long as I'm able to do this, that I'm happy, which took me a little while to figure all that out because all I knew before was WWE, but being able to grow through this process and work with other talents and be in another company, I think it's made me a better performer. It's made me a better star. I feel that I'm really growing as a performer and getting that confidence that somehow I lost along the way. But
yeah. No, look, it's a beautiful thing, and like I've been going to therapy, and like the one thing they're telling me is like, yo, you got to smell your roses because you're always in the rat race trying to compare yourself to everybody and everything. So I want you to know that you really did that this year.
Thank you.
No, of course, and you talk about some of the support. The thing that's made me happy too is like with everything that went on throughout this whole time, and even before you joined TNA, is that you would see the support constantly. And people like, when are you getting back in the ring? When are you getting back in the ring? And like, it's one of those things that like on social media, you can make social media and you can make your own world and think that like, these are the only things that everyone's talking about because that's the way you got your social media set up. But to see that support online manifest itself like how it has, and not even just here, you guys just got back from the UK and it looked crazy to see that support in person and to touch these people. Like, how has that felt?
Incredible, and it's given me so much motivation. I feel like I'm constantly motivated from the support, from my coworkers, from just the world of wrestling, and like it's crazy, just how much of an influence like the social media has, and it's a double-edged sword because 100%. When everything happened and went down, seeing the negativity really affected me and it really bothered me. But it also, through that experience, I learned how to filter that and I learned how to not let that affect me so much. And I feel like I'm better and stronger for it now mentally. And on the flip side, I do see the support and I focus more on the support and the positive things and just eliminating as much of that negativity as I can and just keep moving, just keep progressing and moving forward and only caring about those who care about me, those who support me, and those who believe in me. So that's helped me out a lot mentally,
What up? Pardon the interruption on the interview. Real quick, we have to show some love to the people that are helping make this content possible. Zipchair and ZipchairGaming.com. Holiday season is here, y'all. If you want to go extra on the gift, get all the brownie points, and really come up clutch this holiday season, I have a suggestion. Zipchair.com. Go there, find your partner or yourself, whoever, the perfect chair for their office, their gaming area, their cubicle, whatever the case. Or you want the recliner, you want the bar stool, you want the man cave for the house to really get the perfect thing, to really seal in the best man cave in the neighborhood. Zipchair.com. Use that discount code Adrian to save yourself 10%. And hey, if your partner has a favorite team, why don't you slap on the team's logo on it? With Zipchair, it's possible. Customizable from the logos to the comfortability. And as a big guy, it has the triple XL seal of approval. ZipchairGaming.com. Use that discount code Adrian.
And help me to get to where I am now.
No, and I'm glad you said that, because I think a lot of people need to hear that no matter where they are in life. And one thing I want to focus on too real quick is when it comes to your debut in Impact, two-part question. Number one, who was the first person that you told outside of the family? And number two, when you're in Gorilla about to go out, what was going through your mind before you shocked the world and made everything possible?
First person was Mercedes, that knew outside of family, and just nerves, and just me wanting to get through that moment. I was so like, I got lightheaded. I was so nervous and I was shaking, like so overwhelmed with excitement, nerves, fear, but also wanting to get out there and do it and show up and prove myself, and just, the anxiety of what if this all goes wrong, or what if this all goes bad, or what if it's not good, and all those things. But once you overcome that and once you get through that, like, it gets easier, it gets better, you get more confident, and it felt good because it was still fun. I was still received, and it just reassured me and validated me that I'm where I'm supposed to be and I'm not done yet. And that's what I was worried about,
It's great. You take that leap of faith, and the other side's just as green. It's like a beautiful thing.
It is. It's scary, but it's beautiful at the same time.
And that's where the confidence comes in that you're talking about. It's like, well, if I did that in the place that I was, like that lets you know that you can do anything. Exactly. And another thing that made me extremely happy, and I'm glad I can say Gail Kim, friend of the show, has joined us before, talking to her about Impact and the role that she plays. Like, the moment I asked her about the locker room, like, her face lit up. You could just tell it was a switch, and she was ready to talk about it. And I know in some interviews you were like, well, my conversation with Gail kind of reassured me that, like, this is the place for me. If I could, not to get too personal, but in that conversation, like, what was it about that conversation that gave you that reassurance?
I think it was just her belief in me, and I had other conversations, but that support and that conversation she and I had, it hit me in a way that it felt right. It felt right, and I thank Gail so much because that conversation is what made me, seal the deal for me to go to Impact. It was Gail. So, I knew that I would be in good hands. I knew that I would be taken seriously. I knew that I would be valued. I knew that I would be heard. And that's just what I knew I needed at that point in my career. And also just the scheduling and everything, all that was important to me as well, because I do have a family. I still wanted to be able to go support my husband. I still wanted to, have space to grow and perform and work, but still be able to move how I needed to move and try new things and be there for my family. And so everything just all came together. And Gail had a lot to do with that. Scott had a lot to do with that. And just going from feeling so like not wanted to feeling so wanted, that was the game changer for me.
And the other thing that I do want to mention that makes me so happy is like you're saying these things and feeling wanted and feeling validated. And I said trailblazer for a reason on purpose at the beginning. Like you're doing this not only as a woman, but a Black woman. And like it's so validating for me with my niece, like to be able to show her your wrestling and show her everything that you've done. And she's like, whoa, she looks like me. She talks like me. She's from where I'm from. Like it's an amazing thing. And like even now, and you talking about your experience in these first few months, and I know that title belt helps, but I do have to ask you when it comes to Impact and some of the relationships with the roster. I saw the TikTok videos that you guys were putting up in Europe. They were amazing. I do want to know like which like who's someone that you've gotten close to that you didn't necessarily know that well before getting into Impact.
Giselle, Jordan, Deanna, Kylan. Like it's such an incredible locker room. And I came from an amazing locker room before. So that was something that in the back of my mind, I was just hoping that I would fit in there, you know, and I would be accepted there. I was really worried about that, but it was just like, I fit right in with everybody. And it's, I'm very happy about that. And I love our locker room. I love the girls. And I just think there's so much talent in there. So to be a part of that locker room and to develop these new friendships, these new bonds, and to just learn so much about these women that I knew of but didn't know before has been very special for me as well, and has a lot to do with why I'm so happy there.
It's a wonderful thing, and we only got 2 more minutes left, so I got 2 more questions to close this out. So first one, it's been crazy to see wrestling. Now there's like press conferences and there's free agency. Like it's the NFL and the NBA and everybody like, well, who's going to sign with this, that, and the third? And I'm not trying to add more competition to your plate, my love, but there's a woman out there who goes by the name of Ronda Rousey. And it looks like she's still down to wrestle. I'm just wondering, is she welcomed in Impact? Would you be interested in that?
Hell yeah. I've teamed up with Ronda before. And I think she's amazing. I mean, it's Ronda Rousey. It's Ronda. Ronda is goated for life. And I think it's super amazing and inspiring as well to see her to continue to wrestle. So, hell yeah. Anywhere Ronda shows up, it's a bonus. It's a plus. So, and I've never got to go against Ronda. Happy I got to work with her second run. That was pretty awesome. Teaming with her in Saudi, which is also something that she fought for me to be there with her. And I'll never forget that. So, man, it's all love when it comes to Ronda Rousey.
There it is. And before we close out with the final question, we got to let the people know, first and foremost, December 9th, Final Resolution. That'll be on pay-per-view on Fight TV. And then Vegas, 2 months from today, January 13th, the Palms Casino Resort. You need to go out there, hard to kill. The tickets available right now at Ticketmaster.com. We'll be in the building. My son will be in the building. He might clothesline somebody. It's going to be a good time. But Trinity, since the holidays are here and Thanksgiving is coming up, simple question. What are you thankful for?
My fans, my friends, and my family.
There it is. Trinity, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll see you in Vegas.